Hey everybody, what's going on, and welcome to my bass corner in the garage. A lot has been going on the past few weeks. We've made it to the top 4 in catchco's on the line competition to find the next bass fishing influencer, and I'm just at a loss for words and kind of emotions at this point because it's been such a roller coaster and an amazing experience. And these past few weeks have just been incredible. So what I want to do now is I want to answer a couple of questions you may be having about the competition, where I'm at right now in this whole process, and where we're going from here. So the first question that we have is, what has been the hardest part of this competition so far? Well, the first thing that kind of pops to my mind is really two things. The first one is time management. I harp and preach to my students all the time because I am a high school science teacher. I tell them, do not procrastinate, do not wait to the last minute, because you'll be kicking yourself when it comes down to the wire. And sure enough, I did not take my own advice. I have not taken my own advice. I have spent a handful of nights, all night, staying up and editing videos and trying to get them uploaded for the due date, because it's been one challenge and one video after the next, after the next, after the next. So it's been pretty crazy when it comes to that. The second thing, if I'm being honest and kind of candid and genuine with you guys, is I've let a little bit of self-doubt kind of creep in, especially in the beginning stages of the competition, because it is extremely intimidating for me, being such a smaller content creator. And what I mean by that is having a smaller following. Some of the other content creators and competitors in this competition have a massive following, which is amazing. Like, these guys have been really out there on the grind and getting after it and putting in the work to amass such an amazing audience and reaching so many people. And I just am not at that level yet, hopefully. And so seeing Instagram followers in the 20 of thousands, seeing YouTube subscribers in the 5 to 6 to 7 thousands is extremely intimidating for someone who has under 1,000 in both of those categories. And so I kind of let that really get to me in the first couple of weeks. And, thanks to some really close family members and my wife for really encouraging me to just be myself and do me, has been extremely beneficial. But it was really hard at first too to kind of get over that self-doubt. I think honestly, us as humans in general sometimes really struggle with, are we good enough? And I kind of came down with a little bit of case of that. Tell the audience why they should vote for you to be the on the line champion. Well, when I was first looking into this competition and reading over the mission statement and kind of looking through the contract at some of the first lines, it said, we are looking for something and someone that is going to bring something new and fresh to the table. And I feel like with these past 4 videos, they've been the absolute best 4 videos that I've ever done it in my entire YouTube or life in general. But the best videos that I've ever created and put out. And I could argue that they are new and fresh to the fishing universe. And also, I want to deliver a message of positivity and entertainment and fun and excitement and enjoyment. And because that's kind of why people go to these videos, is to find some form of value, some form of enjoyment, some form of entertainment, some form of joy. And so I feel like with my personality, with my sense of humor, with my direction of where I'm going, and honestly with my life and where I'm at in this stage, within this season of my life, I feel like that is very relatable to some people, more so than maybe somebody who does this for a living, because not everybody has the opportunity to go out every single day and fish. Myself is not one of those people. Myself, that's great grammar. I am not one of those people. I am a weekend warrior at best, because I have a wife, I have a 2-year-old, I have a job as a teacher, like I said, and so it's a struggle sometimes to be able to balance and to time manage all of those things. So I feel like from that standpoint, seeing somebody who can balance all those things and still bring forth some amazing and new and fresh content is something that is valuable to the audience. What would it mean to you to win this low boat 1436L with a 9.9 horsepower engine? Well, having a John boat is definitely a huge upgrade from a paddle drive kayak. I've been strictly kind of narrow-minded when it comes to my bodies of water, small ponds, small lakes, because I have my kayak, which is right here above me. And having a new platform to fish from opens up an enormous amount of opportunities. And so having a motor that can scoot you around over the water versus the old paddle drive is definitely an amazing opportunity to open the window and open the door for new content on bigger bodies of water and more adventures when it comes to camping and taking more gear and maybe tricking out the John boat to make it look like a bass boat. There's a bunch of cool videos out there taking your John boat and flipping it and turning it into a new and cool fishing platform. Where is the first place you would take the boat if you win? Well, the first place I would take it would be to my parents' house, because there's no way that I would be able to fit it in the garage here. So I'm going to have to find some place to store it. We'll definitely be keeping it there for the time being. But the first body of water I'd take it would probably be... I don't think I would be ready to take it out on big open water yet. I would probably put it in a small pond. You know what? I'd probably take it to one of my buddies' ponds where I've done the most filming of my YouTube videos, just to give a different perspective and kind of a different look on things. And I think that would be super nostalgic, taking this prize essentially of a lot of hard work and dedication and fishing these small bodies of water to those locations and kind of parading it around and telling the fish, hey, look at me now. You are a part of this. Thank you for biting my lure every now and then. Stupid answer. Describe your bucket list fishing adventure. I'm super interested, and I think I watched every single series of all the members of the Guggen Squad and then some when they went down on their Amazon fishing adventure to catch peacock bass. I was thoroughly engaged and very entertained by how, one, aggressive these jokers are, but two, how big they were, and just the constant grind of pulling those huge prop baits that looked like they were about a foot long and just jerking them across the water and using close to 100-pound test on some of the braided fishing line and these rods and reel setups. Man, it was ridiculous. And then coming away with a teen pounder or a 20-pound peacock bass, like, that seems pretty freaking epic and something that's definitely on the bucket list. And also, I have no interest in going someplace cold because I'm from Georgia and originally from South Georgia, so I don't mind the heat, but the cold is it's a little tough sometimes. So I know people say things like, oh, I want to catch a huge sturgeon, or oh, I want to go ice fishing on... I like it hot, not cold. All right, last question. Give us a 1-minute recap of your most recent submission and how it went. So challenge 3 was creativity. We had a box of paint and some lure blanks, and the goal was to paint up a lure and customize it to however we wanted to in order for it to catch fish. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the 90s TV show, The Fun Fish Painting with Bubba Ross. It's an amazing thing. You should probably check it out. It was only on for like one season right in the mid-90s. I don't understand why it wasn't very popular, but he was my childhood hero. And so he sent me some pictures of fish that he actually created himself, some different designs that he created himself, and I used those for 3 of them. Now the other one, my son Henry, who's 2 years old, actually mocked up a picture and designed one himself, and then he painted it himself as well. And it turns out that that one, named Hank the Tank, actually caught more fish than the other ones that I did personally. So from that standpoint, it was an amazing experience, and I'm so just tickled to death that the lure that he spent all 5 minutes making outperformed and outfished mine that I spent hours and hours and hours trying to perfect and trying to make as beautiful as possible. Well, I hope that gives you a little bit of insight to what's kind of been going on, how we got to the Final Four, and why you should consider voting for me. I have thoroughly enjoyed this experience. I am extremely worn out because I just finished putting out the 4th and final video, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it so much. It's something that really hits close to home and is completely different from what anybody else is going to do. And honestly, I think it's a game-winning video. But in order for us to get there, you're going to have to vote for me. So please consider doing so. Thank you for your time. Thank you for your support. And keep those lines tight.